Have you ever felt that you are full of energy, ready to hit record, film your video, only to watch your video back and then think to yourself, who is that monotone stranger? Who is that robot? Is that how I come across? Am I even cut out to be a YouTuber? But you know what? Today, I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that the camera does to you, meanly does to you, just by the very nature of what we're doing here, filming this video. So 5 reasons why the camera seems to literally steal 10 pounds of charisma off you just from the act of hitting record, and really, really importantly, what you can do about it to overcome it. Number 1 is literally because you don't have a conversation partner. The lack of immediate feedback from a person sitting opposite you, that you are talking to, you are talking with, actually tends to make it harder to speak naturally and keep the conversation going in a natural way. So what happens is you start the conversation off, you start at a certain level of energy, and then it just naturally starts leaking. But basically, because you don't have someone that you are sitting actually opposite where you can see them, you don't have that person helping keep you on the roll, keeping your energy level up. They are not giving you energy back so that you can then, you're just sort of bouncing off that. You're not bouncing off another person's energy when you are making videos. Okay, you do have to rely on yourself. And also it can have the effect of making you lose some vocal variety in your voice, just because, you can't see that person get excited. You can't see that person go to a more quiet, subdued place. You're not giving that natural, excitement where your voice is speeding up and you are talking a little bit faster. The subject turns a little bit more serious. Your voice, your pace slows down. You are in rapport with each other. To kind of like keep you awake and keep you on task. When you're making videos, you want to be on task because, you have got a message to put across and you want to do your very best job to put that message across. And you do not want to burst out of the starting gates, and then it's not good. Number 2, usually when you film, you're in one spot. You have got this kind of space to remain within. You know that you're not going off camera while you are trying to speak your message and talk about the thing that you're talking about. So the fact that you are in one spot is almost like you have been sent to time out, and you are going to be sitting there and reflecting on your behavior and the consequences of some bad behavior. But you know what? Making a YouTube video is not like being sent to time out, okay? Literally what we're talking about is that in real life, your interactions with another person is quite dynamic, and it actually boosts your energy. So when you're having a conversation with a person, you might be, if you're at home, you might be moving around the house. If you're at a coffee shop or just a restaurant, you might be getting up and down to order things, to catch a pet or a child trying to make a break for the perimeter. You might be getting up to go to the bathroom. A whole bunch of reasons why you are moving around, okay? Grabbing things out of your bag, putting your phone away because you're a polite person in company. You are present. You are honouring those who are present, not those who are absent on the phone. So, even the small act of reaching for a paper napkin or a spoon, you are moving around. And when you are moving, your energy levels are like flowing all around you, like waves, and it just helps keep you in the moment, keep you present, and importantly, keep your energy levels up and just keep that charisma like flowing, just like the coffee coming out of the machine and all the, the artistry of the barista, all of that flow, energy flowing. Being a little bit stuck is a bit challenging. That is something that we need to overcome. Number 3, it's really quiet when you film. Is it like that at your place? Do you film in a really quiet environment, or do you have to record when life is lifing around you and quite a few background noises, outside of the room noises, maybe even people in the same room? I've seen quite a few lives where the family is just moving around in the background. The creator is completely fine with that, and the people in the chat seem to be used to that. So what is it like for you? The fact of the matter is that life is always a bit noisy. So even if it's the sound of you walking around your house, you probably can hear footsteps. But appliances, traffic outside, nearby people, videos, television in the background, and music, the voice in your head. And the thing that universally relaxes people is something that we actually can't have playing in the background while we're making our videos. Yeah, music. The lack of comforting noises can make us feel uneasy. And when we feel uneasy, what do you think happens to our natural charisma? Exactly. I'm interested. Is it super quiet when you film, or is life lifing in the background and you are not sitting in a unnaturally quiet space? Number 4, the camera tends to flatten facial expressions and body language. So cameras show everything flat, which means that they don't capture the full depth that our eyes perceive. What that means is we can't actually see the details on a person's face. We can't see their micro expressions like we do in real life. Like real life is 3D. The camera is 2D. Can you see that there's a lot that we're fighting to overcome? And watching videos on a screen can also make it harder to feel the energy and emotions from the person who's talking. And so this, coupled with the fact that the camera only shows 2D, weakens the energy and emotion that you're trying to project. Not to mention that the person is actually physically further away or even smaller if you're watching on your phone. Here's a question for you. I don't actually watch YouTube on my TV where the person's larger, right? They've got to be larger. Does it make it any easier for you to read and feel the emotion of the YouTuber as opposed to your phone? Okay, number 5, here's the final one. Although if you want a part 2, please let me know in the comments because I do have 5 more points, is that the very act of filming can make you feel more tense and nervous, anxious. So do you ever feel tense or nervous or anxious when you start filming? If you do, you're not alone. Did you catch Ali Abdaal's latest video where he talks about how he almost never feels like filming?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make. My confession is that I did not want to film this video. In fact, a lot of the time when it comes to this YouTube channel that I've been running for the last 8 years, I have not wanted to hit record.
This can actually make you feel more reserved than you usually are.
I just don't want to do it, right? Like, there's just better things I could be doing with my time, right? Right now, I feel a bit tired and I feel a bit like, oh, it's like the morning, and what's even the value of this video? There's no value to anyone.
Because of this, that actually means that you are bursting out of the starting blocks with maybe something like 60 to 80% of gas in the tank, when you actually want and need to have 100. That's how you want to be starting filming your videos, with 100% energy or even more. So we'll come to that. So what, pray tell, is the solution to all of this? All right, let's go back to number 1. You don't have a conversation partner. So for this one, you just have to trust the process. Remind yourself that there is someone on the other side of the lens that you are having a conversation with. Something that you can do about this, it helps to start filming yourself while you are in the last final stages of getting ready. You can start filming yourself whenever you want to start filming yourself. It just means that you've got more footage to scrub through as you realize that it is all just C-roll. That way, you've actually done the hardest bit and you've actually pressed record and you've started talking. You're just doing like morning pages. What is it called? Something about drawing on the right side of the brain. Is it that author that talks about morning pages where you're just doing like 3 pages every single day of just writing, nothing in particular? So this is almost like, this is getting the cobwebs off, all right? Warming up your voice. If it is the morning, you're not going to have that morning voice. You've actually warmed the little motor up there. Your mouth has been moving, it's been doing some work, and you just sound better, like you have been up and adulting for quite some time instead of like feeling all nervous when you turn your camera on. Do that like you are having a conversation with a friend, because that is what you are doing. That is what you'll end up doing when you start filming your video. You've written yourself some bullet points of what to say. So when you start, just say it like you were telling a story to a friend who is sitting in front of you. That little tip of stick a photo of a friend up on your camera near your lens has never actually been one that appeals to me, because I think that that would just distract me from the job at hand, and I would be thinking about that person. And I don't know, I've never really fancied that one. Have you ever tried that one? Moving to number 2. When you film, you're usually in one spot and you can't move very much. Okay, so this one is about creating movement. So your body is moving and all the energy waves are all just happening and flowing. The way I do that is sometimes I will actually just move towards the camera. That gives a different feel and it looks a little bit different. And even if I have to look off to the side at the screen, it kind of like wakes me up because I'm thinking, flip, that's right, I'm filming it. Just, it's just like a little bit of flick of water on the face. Sometimes, like it's just literally a case of grabbing your camera like that. I sometimes do this technique and it's a really good one because I actually quite like to have camera movement. It gives you like a really cool little camera wiggle effect. So if you've got that option in your editing software, you don't actually have to artificially put camera wiggle on, because I don't know, I just feel like that's just a little bit, it's a bit giddy making to me. Nothing can actually really replicate all of the little tricks and bobs on the editing software can't actually replicate like true life, like what is your lighting actually like, or your camera wiggle. Like, let's just stick with the camera wiggle on this one. So yeah, it just breathes more life into your video. You can also stand up. We actually speak differently and we sound differently, don't we, when we are, standing up as opposed to sitting down. Walking is good too if you have a gimbal. If you don't have a gimbal and you are walking along holding your phone, have you tried it? Because I've been quite surprised at the amount of jiggle like that you get from walking holding a phone. So it's a little bit Blair Witch vibes. Number 3, it's really quiet usually when you go to film. What I suggest with this one is this is all about the pre-filming. Use music before you start filming to really lift and boost your mood. You want to get into a really up mood. I've seen quite a bit of advice where people are talking about how you're wanting to meditate and calm down. Do some deep breathing and just bring it all down and get grounded. Well, I say the opposite. I say that you want to get up. You want to jack yourself up before you start filming. Do things even like lifting your arms above your head, like that just gets blood flowing. Do the Tony Robbins Superman poses. Pretend that you are hosting the Academy Awards. The music is up and all the joy is happening. The people are clapping. The music settles down and you are on, baby. Okay, so you're on. You're announcing the incredible nominees for this incredible award for this incredible film. Yes, I know those people are actors. I think that in life we play so many different roles. I'm not saying that we're all different people in our different roles, but we need to sometimes give a different energy in a meeting with some higher ups at work and a different energy to when we are welcoming people to, let's say, a Christmas lunch at the end of the year. We just end up by delivering a different, slight facet of our personality in different parts of our lives. All of them, they are all authentically you. For your message to be heard, I want you to think about dialing your energy up. If 100% is you are good, you're buzzing, good to go, you've got 100% of battery, think about dialing it up another 25%. That will probably come across like 100+%. Think about a job interview situation, either in person or virtual, how you know that it's important to lift your energy a bit and keep it there. So you want to get into the zone, use music before you start filming, and just kind of act like, the credits are rolling, people are clapping, and you're about to be on, because you are about to be on. Okay, number 4. The camera tends to flatten facial expressions and body language. So this is a bit of a simple one, and that is just to be aware of your vocal variety. I have just been aware, just by filming this video, that sometimes I talk a little bit faster, and other times I will just slow it down and pause. Pauses can be really, really powerful. You don't have to be talking all the time. In fact, if you are talking all the time, then it is a really important idea to slow it down. Just literally, just pause, just think. Because if the person listening to your video, and most people, we are carrying on with our lives while we're listening to videos, and yeah, you can just get a little bit hypnotized by a person's voice, I think, and you can just, I don't know, it just all can sound a bit samey. So you don't want to sound samey. That's about projecting your voice a little bit more as well, like emphasizing some words a little bit more as well. And don't be afraid to exaggerate a little bit your facial expressions. Use your hands, be a little bit animated. And that is another reason too that, when you've got your torso in the shot, you want to make sure that you can just naturally use your hands to express whatever it is that you are eloquently and interestingly expressing. Number 5, the act of filming yourself can make you tense and anxious. Absolutely. My number 1 recommendation here is to do lives. Yeah, do some lives. Lives really break down barriers. There's no time to be nervous when you're forced to be in the moment on a live. And that is a cool thing. And it's also a muscle to develop as well, and to practice managing that situation. But you don't have any time to be super self-conscious on a live. It's really, really nice to see when people start doing lives and they just get it. And even if they are a very introverted person, they do just have to keep up with people asking them stuff and responding back, and, saying some nuanced things that you have to think about on the spot, and sort of make some sense of, like, just people's sense of humor as well comes through. So the number 1 recommendation about feeling tense and nervous when you're filming yourself is doing lives. If you are taking yourself seriously in your filming on your videos, guarantee lives will knock some of your edges off, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. It is great practice for talking to your viewers while you're looking at the lens. Lives are pretty cool, actually. Lives are pretty cool because you're looking at the comments, you are making opportunities to look into the lens as well, because that's actually talking to the person. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. You might have a couple of notes down, you might be writing a couple of notes. I do all of that stuff. I write some notes. I'll meet some new people and I want to remember their names, so I'll be writing some things down. People are talking about some cool channels, looking at the chat coming through, and actually talking back to the person by looking at them straight down the lens, just like you are when you're having a real conversation in person. If you don't do lives yet, time can take care of this, or at the very least reduce it over time. It reduces tenseness and it reduces anxiety about filming. The one thing that is absolutely sure though is that it's not about you. Me recording this video for you, this is not about me. This is about me just trying to give you some of my ideas, like some problems and some solutions. When you realize it's not about you, and you realize about the spotlight effect, okay? I'll leave a video up here to watch afterwards about the spotlight effect. It's truly about the person viewing your video that is the most important person in the room. There's nothing more important than the person watching your video. Hopefully, that should serve the purpose of making you feel a little bit less self-conscious. Rather than being self-conscious, I would suggest being self-aware. Which one of these resonated with you the most? If you want a follow-up video, I have got 5 more points. They're not 5 worse points, they are 5 equally good points. If you enjoyed this video, please check out this next video, How I Lose My YouTube Voice, because, we can be a little bit presentery when we are new making videos, and that's not anyone's fault. It's just that we have watched so much television news that I think somewhere in our head we go click and we go, okay, and the weather today is looking fine.